Well, let me tell you the origin story of Soren Kierkegaard, the great Danish philosopher and theologian. Legend has it that Kierkegaard was born with a pen in one hand and a copy of Fear and Trembling in the other. As a child, he was known for his witty remarks and existential ponderings. Once he was just 5 years old, he asked his parents, if God is omnipotent, can he create a rock so heavy that he himself cannot lift it? His parents were baffled by his question, but Kierkegaard simply shrugged and said, I guess we'll never know. As he grew older, Kierkegaard continued to question the meaning of life and the existence of God. He even had a brief stint as a clown where he would perform at children's birthday parties while pondering the absurdity of existence. In this video, we will explore some of Soren Kierkegaard's famous quotes. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. This quote highlights the idea that we often gain a greater understanding of our lives and the world around us by looking back at our experiences and reflecting on what we've learned. This quote emphasizes the idea that hindsight is 20/20. That is, we often gain a clearer understanding of our experiences and the world around us after the fact. However, Kierkegaard is also highlighting the importance of living in the present moment and moving forward with intention, even if we don't have all the answers. Sometimes we learn valuable lessons through our mistakes and missteps. We have all heard of the saying, learn from your mistakes. It's easy enough to say, but much harder to actually do it. After all, who wants to admit that they've made a mistake, let alone learn from it? But the truth is, mistakes are inevitable, and they can actually be a good thing. Well, as long as you learn from them, that is. As you can see, mistakes happen to everyone, even to the best of us. The key is to not beat yourself up over them, but to learn from them and move on. And if you can find the humor in your mistakes, even better. So the next time you make a mistake, take a deep breath, laugh it off, and remember that it's just a learning opportunity in disguise. And who knows, you might just end up with a funny story to tell. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. In this quote, Kierkegaard is suggesting that the very freedom we have to make choices and live our lives as we see fit can be overwhelming and anxiety-provoking. When we have many options, we may feel pressured to make the right decision. We may worry that we will make the wrong choice, leading to negative consequences. With freedom comes the responsibility of determining our own path. This can be daunting, especially if we are unsure about our goals and aspirations. Without external constraints, it can be challenging to create structure and routine in our lives. This can lead to feelings of chaos and overwhelm. How can we overcome anxiety caused by freedom? Embrace imperfection. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for progress. Remember that mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. Allow yourself to make choices without worrying too much about the outcome. Focus on the present. Rather than being bogged down by uncertainty about the future, focus on the present moment. What can you do today to move forward towards your goals? What small steps can you take? Create structure. While too much structure can feel stifling, a little bit of routine can be helpful in providing a sense of stability. Consider creating a daily or weekly schedule to help you stay on track. Seek support. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you're feeling overwhelmed. Talk to a friend or a family member. Seek out a mentor or a coach, or consider therapy if needed. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Remember that everyone experiences anxiety at some point, but it's okay to feel uncertain. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. One day, Kierkegaard was caught in a rainstorm without an umbrella. As he hurried along the wet streets, he came across a group of people huddled together under an awning, praying fervently for the rain to stop. Kierkegaard joined them, but instead of asking God to change the weather, he silently prayed for the group to find the strength and resilience to endure the rain. In doing so, he realized that prayer is not about changing external circumstances, but rather about changing ourselves. Here, Kierkegaard is suggesting that prayer is not about trying to manipulate or control God, but rather about changing ourselves in our own perspectives. The story about Kierkegaard getting caught in the rain and praying for inner strength rather than for the rain to stop illustrates this point by showing how we can use prayer as a tool to cultivate inner resilience and adaptability. So here's the thing. Prayer is not a genie in a bottle. You can't rub it and expect all your wishes to come true. It's not like you can pray for $1 million and wake up the next day as a millionaire, unless you win the lottery, but even then, that's just luck. The truth is, prayer is more like a self-help tool. It's like going to the gym but for your soul. Just like how you can't expect a six-pack overnight, you can't expect a prayer to change your external circumstances right away. It takes time, effort, and patience. But if you stick with it, prayer can help you develop some serious inner strength. It's like mental floss for your brain. It can help you clean out all the negative thoughts and emotions that can build up in your mind, leaving you feeling refreshed and renewed. And let's face it, we all need a little help in the compassion and empathy department. Prayer can help us connect with others on a deeper level, reminding us that we're all in this crazy world together. It's like a reminder that we're not alone, even when we feel like the last person on earth who knows what they're doing. Don't forget to love yourself. This is a timeless piece of advice that has been passed down through the generations. However, it can be challenging to remember to love ourselves when we are caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. That's why Soren Kierkegaard's here to remind you of that. First off, let's get one thing straight. Loving yourself does not mean you have to become a narcissist. It's perfectly fine to take pride in your accomplishments and celebrate successes. However, if you find yourself admiring your reflection in every shiny surface, it might be time to take a step back. Now let's talk about self-care. Some people might think that self-care means treating yourself to an expensive spa day or indulging in a fancy meal. But let's be real. Sometimes self-care is as simple as taking a nap or saying no to that extra project at work. And speaking of work, it's important to remember that your job does not define you. Sure, you might be a rock star at your job, but at the end of the day, you're so much more than your job title. So take some time to explore your hobbies and interests outside of work. Who knows, you might discover a new passion that brings you even more fulfillment than your career. Lastly, don't be too hard on yourself. We all have bad days. It's just a part of being human. So if you find yourself making a mistake or falling short of your expectations, take a deep breath and remind yourself that it's okay to mess up sometimes. In fact, it's often through our failures that we learn and grow the most. Kierkegaard's impact on philosophy and literature cannot be overstated. His ideas have inspired generations of thinkers, writers, and artists across a wide range of disciplines, from existentialism and theology to literature and psychology. One reason for Kierkegaard's lasting influence is the depth and complexity of his thoughts. His writings explore the fundamental questions of human existence, from the nature of faith and freedom to the meaning of love and death. Kierkegaard's approach to philosophy was highly personal and experiential, often drawing on his own struggles and doubts to explore the human condition in all its complexity. Another reason for Kierkegaard's enduring legacy is the poetic and imaginative quality of his prose. Unlike many philosophers, Kierkegaard's writing is highly literary, using metaphor, irony, and other literary devices to convey his ideas in a vivid and compelling way. Despite the fact that Kierkegaard died more than 150 years ago, his writings continue to resonate with readers today. His emphasis on the importance of subjective experience, personal responsibility, and the search for meaning in a chaotic and uncertain world has particular relevance in our contemporary moment. In a time of rapid technological change, social upheaval, and environmental crisis, Kierkegaard's ideas offer a powerful reminder of the enduring human quest for authenticity, purpose, and connection. As Kierkegaard himself once said, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. It is up to each generation to make sense of the past, to live fully in the present, and to choose a chart course for the future. If you're new here, hello and welcome to Motivation Matters Most. Here in this channel, we talk about personal development and self-improvement with different stories to go along with it in order for you to find success in life. If this is something you're into, consider hitting the subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you can be updated on our next upload. With all that said, work hard in silence and let your silence be your noise. See you!